Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And welcome to Sofa Reviews. Today we're watching Darko.
Released in 2009, it's a sequel to the 2001 movie Darko.
Just what we need. A sequel to a film that was perfectly wrapped up and didn't need a sequel. Thanks, Mike, you cock.
The film starts off with a giant wall of text explaining that it's 7 years later.
We meet Sam, Donnie's younger sister, and her friend Corey as they're going on a cross-country drive.
The car breaks down and they wait beside a rather nice lake for help to arrive.
And we see a guy climb a windmill. But more on that later.
We see Sam lying in the road for no reason as a car pulls over.
This introduces us to Randy, possibly the most boring person in the world.
Roadkill.
He ignores Corey's poor attempts at flirting to check on the engine, which for some reason is still hot.
Well, you can't drive it.
Really? Maybe that's why they pulled over, you dozy prick.
The car gets dropped off at a garage while the girls get dropped off at a motel.
What is wrong with you? Nothing. Can't you even pretend to be happy?
Yeah, pretend to be happy. Because what kind of friend would I be if I wanted to listen to and help out with how miserable you are?
They check out the motel, which introduces a little plot device.
What happened to that little boy?
He went missing.
Maybe I'm just the kind of guy who jumps to wild conclusions, but I'd imagine that's why he's on a poster with missing written on it.
Anyway, we cut to a guy called Iraq Jack, who's talking on a windmill to dead Sam.
So they jump through a wormhole, he runs away from the windmill before it's destroyed, and Sam wakes up on a park bench.
After that disjointed series of events, we see that the windmill was destroyed by a meteor.
Good to see that the guys in hazmat suits have established a clear quarantine zone.
Corey and Sam go for breakfast, allowing us to meet more characters.
Take it easy, Trudy. Jesus loves you, Agatha.
Actually, Agatha, Jesus would like me to express his mild indifference towards you.
They watch Iraq Jack in a dumpster before introducing us to Jeremy, who bought the meteorite from the windmill.
It's lucky for Jeremy there isn't some kind of National Aeronautics and Space Administration who'd be interested in that.
Isn't Jeremy a gay name?
Corey runs out on the bill, but Sam pays anyway before they start having a chat with the town pastor.
Well, I haven't always had a personal relationship with the Lord, but I'm not missing anything. I used to be just like you.
He had a vagina.
Pastor John gives Sam a book before we see Iraq Jack talking with Randy.
You know, if you didn't dress and talk like that, man, people wouldn't be so freaked out.
So we're sticking with the theme of don't tell anyone what you're thinking and just bottle it up, pretending to be normal because no one really cares.
After ducking an imaginary hazard, he runs off, leaving Randy to ignore his warnings of the end of the world and going off to have a party.
At the party, Corey pushes Sam into the pool, leading to her discovering that Randy's brother is also missing.
He shows Sam the room, and after having a little chat, he ends up annoying her.
Corey thinks we can work there?
Dancing?
I guess.
She giving out a few freebies along the way?
What is that supposed to be, like some kind of a judgment or something?
No, it's supposed to be an insult about how your friend is a whore.
We see Iraq Jack talking with dead Sam, who tells him to burn down the church.
Because recreating scenes from the original means your sequel will be brilliant.
The next day, we see people dealing with the destruction of the church.
Is everything okay?
Well, yes, I'm just having my weekly cry in a public place. Why do you ask?
We then get an explanation of Trudy's faith and belief in Jesus.
He's big and strong. Tan. Lots of muscles. He's got lightning bolts shooting out of his eyes.
That's Zeus, you dozy tart. Now be careful, or you might get raped by a swan.
After seeing that Jeremy is developing a rash, we then find out what Corey has been up to.
Passed out at Randy's.
Everyone took turns.
Sam asks about getting the car fixed, but Corey and Randy have been having too much fun.
Corey then decides to carry on with the theme of being a complete bitch.
What? Like, try to off yourself again?
This is followed by a weird series of events. Corey sees a dead kid, gets out of the car, which is then inexplicably hit by another car, which kills Sam.
kind of odd that we never see or hear any mention of the 3 people that were in the back of Randy's car.
Booyah!
Later, and we see that Corey is having to talk about the accident with the police.
How do you explain the car that came out of nowhere, huh?
How do you explain midgets or sock monkeys? I don't know.
These are small, those are made of socks.
We then see Corey in her motel room, still clearly distraught at Sam's death.
She looks through Sam's stuff to find a book called The Philosophy of Time Travel and a picture. Neither of these items should be here because Donnie died and so wouldn't have been given the book or drawn the picture.
Corey once again sees the dead boy and this time ends up discussing it with Randy.
After their tedious, self-pitying dialogue, Corey follows the dead boy so that she can go back in time. The film doesn't bother explaining this, so why should I?
This time around she's nice to Sam, but inexplicably stays in the car.
So now Sam can be racked with guilt and go back in time to trade places, and then we can be stuck in an endless loop that only finishes when I rip my eyes out.
Anyway, it cuts to Iraq Jack wearing a metal rabbit mask.
Another pointless reference to the original, because the worst thing you can include in your sequel is creativity.
Later we see Sam looking at a dress before bumping into Jeremy again.
And I know that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction.
I went to high school.
Then you know that everything is in constant motion. Like right now, the universe is expanding and we're flying through space at like millions of miles per hour, like a spaceship. And eventually it's just gonna grow so big that it'll freeze and die and then nothing we do will matter at all.
Well, there we go. It doesn't matter that your friend is dead because life is futile. Will you love me now?
Brandy turns up, but Sam doesn't want to talk to him.
Luckily, Jeremy is there to be the perfect gentleman.
Sam goes to the burnt remains of the church to give Pastor John the book back, who invites her to a cinema.
Sometimes I like to just come in here and sit.
Is that because you don't have any friends?
They have a brief chat and manage to include some footage from the first film needlessly.
And then he makes his move with the classic everything is God's will chat-up line.
Sam storms out and returns the bracelet as Trudy confronts John.
Luckily for John, Trudy is a complete moron.
I believe you. She made you do it.
I didn't do anything.
John, my bracelet's missing.
Sam falls asleep reading the philosophy of time travel, waking up on a hill next to Iraq Jack.
And here we get another tenuous and pointless link to the original, as it's explained that he is in fact the grandson of the woman who wrote the book.
He shows her the mask he made and seems to have a better idea of what's going on.
Donnie, I like to draw.
How'd you know his name?
Clearly the most important question is why he filled the mask with shards of broken glass.
Sam runs off into the hills where she discovers a cave.
She finds the key that Trudy dropped, allowing her to open the gate and admire her dead child collection.
At the cafe, Sam is given a round of applause, yet despite evidence, they all seem to believe that Iraq Jack is still guilty.
Don't you worry, they'll find him. They always do.
Well, what's evidence when compared against hearsay and rumour?
Sam and Randy discuss having dead brothers before Iraq Jack turns up to ask Sam for help, causing him to get arrested.
How dare you accuse me? This is my bracelet.
No, it's the bracelet that John gave to Sam when he tried it on with her, and the key was clearly on a what would Jesus do bracelet, so why would you suspect the guy that never wore one?
Sam heads back to her motel room and finds Jeremy has bought her the dress that she was looking at earlier.
And then they go off for a nice romantic picnic. At night.
Jeremy actually took her there to see the meteor shower, but gets upset when Sam notices how bad the rash has gone.
Jeremy, you're creeping me out. Maybe you can just calm down.
Calm down. Here's me being calm.
You might want to work on that.
Jeremy ends up knocking Sam over, who hits her head off the metal rabbit mask, killing her.
Which, while being quite a realistic way to die, also seems quite underwhelming.
Dead Sam helps Iraq Jack get out of prison while Randy finds Sam's body on the hill.
Well, the world is about to end. I'd best put on this incredibly painful mask.
This causes Iraq Jack to go back in time for no discernible reason.
And so this time he stays on the windmill to be killed by the meteorite.
As he's being killed, the guy decides he won't sell the meteorite.
So to wrap everything up, Sam goes home, Corey stays with Randy, the motel owner gets infected by the meteorite instead, and the young boy still dies starving, cold and alone in this uplifting film.
And so the film ends, and on this occasion I don't have a lot of good things to say about this one.
Hi, I'm Dave, and this film was shit.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces.